Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fat Jocks, everyone. Thanks so much for listening. If you like the podcast, go over to Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating. Leave a review. Do all that good stuff. You got any questions or you want to call and argue with Brian or message in to argue with Brian, send an email over to fatjockspod@gmail.com. Keep it short and sweet. Enough of these long emails. They're too much to read. Don't much like that. Other than that, got a super sick show lined up today. Brian, what are we talking about?
Today we got baseball predictions from Brucey Gray over here, and we're not just talking about who wins the World Series. I mean, he picks every division, the AL, NL, MVPs. He did not go into the Cy Youngs. Tune in next week for that. We also get into a breakdown of my wild roller coaster of a night watching the UFC 259 card whilst gambling in real time. Let me give you a little sneak preview, but folks, I came out ahead as Vokies always do. We break down Dak Prescott's new contract. We think it's ridiculous. And then at the end, we close it out with a new segment called Wives of Athletes, going off on Twitter. I don't remember what you called it, but it's something similar to that. And that and a whole lot more. So enjoy the show, folks.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business. This fat son of a bitch. He's fat. Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined. He's fat.
Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
He's fat.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
I'm gonna kiss you. I couldn't care less about the team struggling.
Oh, man. All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. Got some fresh news as of 20 minutes ago. The fucking boneheads down there in Dallas, the Dallas Buyers Club, we'll call them, have once again they paid Dak Prescott $160 million over 4 years, including a record $126 million guaranteed. That's what is that? What is that in your mind besides dumb?
I mean, it's like, hey, I guess you didn't learn a lesson from Zeke, did you? Ezekiel Elliott's a fucking mediocre running back now, and he's still top 3-4 paid running backs in the league. I mean, the Cowboys are just dedicated. They love 8-8. That's what they are. They're an 8-8 franchise. They have been forever.
They don't know how to let go.
I don't even know.
They had Jason Garrett there for how long? And at 8-8, they had Jason Garrett there for 9 years longer than they should have, something like that.
Right. And they moved off of Tony Romo a little quick, if you ask me. But I mean, I guess Tony Romo was kind of broken, but it's like, who knows? I mean, I'm glad Dak got paid or whatever. Get your money, Dak.
Yeah, nothing against Dak. Go ahead. Like we were just saying before the pod, get your money, do your thing. But Jesus Christ, Dak is a mediocre quarterback.
Yeah, he's middle of the road. I mean, he's one of those guys. He puts up every now and then. You get a quarterback that like just puts up monster numbers, but it doesn't really mean that much. Like Rich Gannon was like that until the Raiders took off that 1 year, 2002. Yeah. But like Donovan McNabb was like that, where, I mean, I guess he did make it to a Super Bowl and 4 NFC championships. Actually, now I take up Donovan McNabb, one of the most ripped off quarterbacks legacy wise of anybody. Maybe. Yeah. I take that back.
Yeah. I mean, don't get Rush Limbaugh started on Donovan McNabb, dude. Yeah. Brian comes from the Rush Limbaugh school of sports takes. But it's like, dude, in what world, I'm looking at it right now. In what world is Dak Prescott the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL with a record guaranteed contract?
What has he done? What has he done to earn that? Patrick Mahomes, highest paid quarterback. He deserves it.
Patrick Mahomes' contract is only $63 million. Oh, I'm sorry. Total guaranteed is 141. So then what did I just say Dak's was? 126
was guaranteed.
126. But what is the difference between total guaranteed and fully guaranteed?
That's something I don't know. All I know is that Mahomes stands to earn $500 million off of his contract.
Yeah, but it's if he stays around. It says that Mahomes' contract is only $63 million guaranteed, which fully guaranteed, which I really don't know what that even means. But in what world is Dak Prescott paid more than Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff, Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins? He's way up there. Jesus Christ. Carson
Jared
Wentz.
Goff, listen, if I'm starting a franchise, I'm paying Dak Prescott before I pay Jared Goff.
Oh, of course. But these are one of those, that Jared Goff contract did he get that contract after he went to the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, and Dak Prescott hasn't done anything. The Cowboys suck, man. And the Cowboys, I don't know. You might have a different opinion. I think the Cowboys are cool as a franchise, as like a classic franchise. No. So that's what I was to say. I knew that you have probably some tiff against them with the Packers, but as somebody who's kind of a man with no country when it comes to football.
What's cool about the Dallas Cowboys? They got dumb uniforms. They got a dumb stadium. They got a dumb owner. They've always been shit. I can't stand them. And that America's team horse shit. Like, you don't get to, I hate that kind of branding. You don't get to tell me who's America's team. America doesn't have a team, and it's not the fucking Cowboys. First of all, I mean, the only team that really had a stake to being called America's team was the Atlanta Braves in the 90s, because they were shoved down our throat every single game for fucking 10 years. So I understand, and that made me hate the Braves. I'd seen the Braves every day. It was like, dude, can we, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's commitment issues, but I feel like the Cowboys, just have always been shoved down our throat. And I hate the whole mystique of Texas. Like, Texas is real America. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm from Maine. That's real America. That's, you know what I mean? Like, you got to actually weather the storm. Texas gets a little hot. They don't have any fucking weather. They don't have any weather. How could you consider yourself like the idea of the frontiersman, tough fucking American when you have one season all year? In Maine, it's 90 degrees in the summer and it's it's negative 32 in the winter. That's real America. That's versatility, mobility. You got to adjust. You know what I mean? Patriots. Yeah, but I'm America's team.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, but
for fuck's sake.
If what you're saying is that the Cowboys are a dumb team, they have a dumb owner, a dumb stadium, dumb jerseys, doesn't that kind of make them America's team if everything about them is very dumb?
Well, listen, as a veteran who's about to get a vaccine because of my service, I will have received the first of my Pfizer double shot before this episode comes out. I'd appreciate it if you'd keep my country's name out of your fucking mouth. You know what I mean?
Nobody has milked being a veteran like you. You really, I've never seen anything like it. I don't know if I've even talked about it on this podcast, but anytime I've ever flown with you to go wherever to do shows, Brian all the time be like, Brian will be on stage and be like, yeah, the Army was so stupid. I fucking got out of there like nothing. They don't even know how to do shit. And then as soon as they always do that bullshit on fucking most airlines, we're like, and we would now like to welcome people with no legs and veterans of this whatever. And Brian's like, see ya. Literally, he's always like, well, and then every time I get on the plane, Brian's already been there for 20 minutes with his stupid neck pillow, fucking stupid neck pillow, and he's just looking all disgusting on fucking Southwest.
Looking all comfortable and settled in while you're there with the rest of the cattle trying to fight for middle seats like a loser.
Yeah, you're right. On Southwest, Brian is lucky to get it because he gets a good seat.
That's right.
Who the fuck thought of that on Southwest? Hey, pick your own seat. Fuck it.
I know. When they saw that Who concert in 1979 where 11 people were trampled to death, and they were like, let's use that as a model for seating our airplane.
Yeah.
What do they call that?
That's why I fly Spirit. I fly Spirit because they used that. What was that concert? The Del Mar concert where the Hells Angels were the security and they fucking killed like 50 people.
Altamont.
Yeah. That's the model I want to use for my airline. That was the model they were using when they dragged that one guy off the. Remember then they dragged that guy off the plane and there's a video and he was like,
yeah, was that United?
No. Yeah, dude, United will fuck you up, dude.
Yeah, United.
I like that.
They're less of airplane company, is more. They're like smugglers. They're like human trafficking.
Yeah.
They're like, there's too much weight on this plane. We're gonna throw you out the fucking hatch.
Dude, what was that? Did you fly on? Remember to Boise? We flew on. What was that nightmare? Allegiant. What a fucking nightmare that was.
Yeah, dude, I was licking my knees that whole flight.
God, dude, that was unreal. Yeah. I was next to Tinkin and this chick kept talking to us and she like pretty much forced me to have some of her Cheetos. I didn't like it. She's like, you want some Cheetos? I was like, no, I'm good. She's like, come on. And I was like, all right, Jesus Christ, I'll have some. It was a fucking nightmare, dude. Like whatever. Long story short,
she asked twice.
She asked twice. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the old Aziz Ansari technique. The oh, come on, I asked twice. Yeah. What else? What and other dumb news? Well, we got Blake Griffin to the Nets. How did that snuck under the radar? I didn't see that for like 12 hours.
I missed that one too. I got your text this morning and you accidentally wrote Harden. You wrote, damn, I just saw Harden to the Nets. And I was like, what?
Oh yeah, like it's 6 months late.
Yeah, I thought it was a phone glitch. Like I thought like it got lost in space.
Griffin to the Nets, which is interesting because the other day we were talking. It makes perfect sense. I mean, he's on his way out, it would seem. He wants a ring, I would imagine.
Right, I don't know.
But also, what I told you.
You haven't been paying attention to basketball very much, but Jeff Green has been a bit of a problem. That's the backup power forward for the Nets. Jeff Green, he's been around the league a long time. He can go off. He's real streaky. He can have like one night where he drops 40 and then he'll score like 6 for the rest of the month or whatever. But he's been having some attitude issues. And I think it's mostly, I don't know if it's attitude issues or he's been frustrated with his own performance, but he's been leaving games early, throwing towels, shit like that. So you could kind of tell that it wasn't really working out with him. And he's getting a lot of playing time because Durant is missing a lot of games this year. Because they can afford.
Is he still shaky from that injury?
No, I think it's like that. This year there's a lot of back-to-back games because they're squeezing in more games in a shorter calendar, and they also had like almost no off season. So, and when you have Kyrie Irving and James Harden and Kevin Durant, you can kind of cycle the rest and not worry about the team really falling off that hard. And honestly,
yeah, but it's also like with the basketball playoffs are so long. If you have such a good team that no matter what, you're going to the playoffs pretty much, you can kind of do whatever you want all season.
I mean, the Lakers are having a whole season where they're just playing fourth quarters. They're like sitting out the first through the third quarter. They'll be down 20 and then they'll just win in the fourth quarter. Like I don't see anybody beating the Lakers this year, but Blake Griffin he's a much better fit. First of all, he has been a superstar at one point, so he's going to know how to navigate Irving, Harden, Durant. Like he's been there before. He's been the front page of the NBA. So I think he's a perfect backup. He's kind of got like how Derrick Rose is a perfect backup. He's on the Knicks now, yeah. Derrick Rose, and he's doing great. The Knicks are up and coming, by the way, for the first time in forever. They got a really fun.
Forever. I like the Knicks. Remember I was telling you that they were saying that they were going to kind of start building up the Nets. I was like, damn, I wish it was the Knicks just because I think the Knicks are cool.
They have a better uniform.
Great uniform, great stadium, all of it. Or arena, whatever you want to call it.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. That's MSG, dude.
Yeah, I think Blake Griffin's going to fit in well. I think, and he's actually going to get a lot of playing time. Like I said, Durant requires a lot of rest. Also, he'll probably get in for Joe Harris a lot. Joe Harris is the other forward, the small forward. And he's good on offense. He just kind of hangs out on the perimeter, shoots threes, but he can't really bang. He's kind of a weak body. So I think, I don't know how Blake.
People have said that about me, that I have a weak body and I can't bang. By people, I mean my girlfriend. She's like, do you know it's a nightmare? I mean, I don't want to go too far off topic, but my girlfriend has a Fitbit now. What's like an Amazon Fitbit thing. And it really sucks when you're with a chick and she's wearing that when you guys are getting down, because then she could be like, oh yeah, 9 minutes.
By the way, stay tuned. We'll be followed by Home Improvement tonight, folks.
Dude, I was telling you about Blake Griffin because I was like, as soon as I saw that he got bought out or whatever by the Pacers, I was like, dude, Blake Griffin wants to be a comedian. He wants to be in entertainment. He wants to be Pistons, whoever. He wants to be Brennan Schaub, which great aspiration. But I told you immediately he's going to LA or New York, no matter where they could fit him in. I didn't see him going back to the Clippers. I would imagine from the beginning, it's kind of obvious he was going to be the Lakers or the Nets.
Right. There's not really, it doesn't make sense for the Lakers though, because the Lakers' two best players are forwards. I know LeBron James is essentially a point guard on that team, but he's a power forward, and you also got Anthony Davis playing forward. So there isn't a lot, and Kyle Kuzma is their third best scorer. So that's not a position they were looking to fill. So I assumed he was going to the Nets.
Yeah, I don't know how basketball positions work.
Well, they're kind of irrelevant now. Like as the game gets more and more advanced, then everybody kind of knows how to do everything. There's very few like true point guards in the league. You got Damian Lillard, you got Chris Paul. There's a few pure point guards, but there's not a lot of pure, the only position that's semi unchanged is centers, except the big men can now shoot threes. That's the only thing that's changed. But I wasn't shocked. When
You think it's going to be Nets Lakers in the finals though?
I mean, I think the Bucks could potentially take out the Nets. So my guess would be Bucks Lakers. The Clippers, I think the Clippers are better than the Lakers, but they just like it's because I gamble on basketball every single day. And so I see that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are out constantly. So like they just they can't get any chemistry together. So there's no reason that they should be any threat, but don't overlook the Utah Jazz, man. The Utah and the Phoenix Suns. The Utah Jazz and the Phoenix Suns are fucking.
Well, Devin Booker's crushing it, right?
Devin Booker's crushing it. I don't know how to say his Ayton. Their big man who's like only in his second year. Chris Paul is the point guard for the Suns. But with Booker and Paul, that's a legit backcourt. They got like the third best record in basketball. The best record in basketball right now is the Jazz.
The Jazz are like they're kind of one of the it would seem undercovered teams. Undercovered.
Remember?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I could never forget. Yeah, they're trying to like push this Rudy Gobert is actually a good guy thing on us now, and it's like, can you shut the fuck up?
Oh, you mean this French disease spreader? Get out of here,
dude. That's what I'm saying. Dude, that's what I'm saying. They had this whole E60 like full documentary coming out, and it's just like Rudy Gobert. He's the most misunderstood guy, and it's like it's pretty easy to understand.
How about Rudy? Go fuck yourself. How about that?
Exactly. Fuck Rudy Gobert. He ruined the entire MLB season last year.
But I love Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah. Everybody across the board. I haven't heard anybody except for like ESPN be like Rudy Gobert. He's actually a good guy. Yeah. How'd your bets turn out this week? You said that you were kind of fluctuating on the UFC 249.
Let me tell you the roller coaster I went through this weekend, huh? The emotions. And I got to tell you, I'm really not into UFC, and that was the most exciting time I've ever had watching UFC. Because a lot of the fights were like, I hate the wrestling. That's just boring to me.
I hate it. Yeah. I hate the ground.
Yeah.
If they're going to go, the only time I want to see the ground is whenever some guy's like kicking the shit out of some other guy, which I don't think you're allowed to do.
No, we'll get into a very,
that was
but so essentially last week, if you listen to this podcast, we had Anthony Tadero on, and I said that I would put down whatever bet Anthony Tadero told me to put down. And that is exactly what happened. And I put down 2 parlays. You know what a parlay is?
Yes. Okay.
Well, for those who are listening, I'll say, because I don't think Bruce really does. I think a parlay is when you take, multiple bets and you tie them together. So you have to hit all 3, all 4 of the bets, and you get better odds. See, the thing with a fight though, you can't tease it. You know what I mean? Like, cause it's just straight win loss. Like if you're betting football and you're betting the line and say all 3 games are, 5-point spread, and then you parlay them, you can tease them down to a 3-point spread because you're taking a higher risk. Can't do that with win loss. There's no teasing a win and loss. So
from what I've gathered from what you told me about your weekend is that you basically turned into Adam Sandler's character in Uncut Gems. Oh, you gotta see. Look, it's gonna keep working out. Go on though. Let's tell the folks what happened.
That's so funny. My teeth got bigger. So my first bet was I bet on Thiago Santos and Rakic, and it was parlayed with Askar Askarov and whoever the fuck I didn't even watch his fight. And he won. Askar Askarov won. So the first half of my parlay hit. Then Thiago Santos and Rakic dude, you have never seen a fight this boring. You think Pacquiao Mayweather was boring? This shit was just 2 jacked giant dudes walking in a circle for fucking 15 minutes. Most boring fight I've ever seen in my life. Somehow
Sounds like me and you down at the Y.
Wait, why are we walking circles at the Y?
As at the track down there. We and you just walking around, just power walking around the track.
Oh, like the in high school PE where they're like, I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Me and you just taking laps.
Yeah, so that didn't work. So now I'm down $30. I didn't do huge bets. I put 2 $30 bets down on two. That's my initial thing. That was what happened. Like I put those down before the event started. So I'm down that one. My second parlay comes up, and I bet on Dominic Cruz to win. Again, these are Anthony's advice. I never even heard of Dominic Cruz. He hits. And then the second fight is Aljamain Sterling, the guy with the big flat top we talked about last week, versus I got to sneeze. Hold on a second.
Fuck!
Excuse me.
Dude, I swear to God, I went to Knott's Berry Farm with my gay uncle one time, and he on the drop of every roller coaster, he would sound like that. When it would drop, he'd go, "Oh, you fucking motherfucker!" Like, dude, there's children all around, and he's just fucking about to start crying on the fucking roller coaster. He said, "Oh, you motherfucker!" Just on every single drop on the roller coaster. Not even trying to be funny. He's just legitimately terrified.
So Aljamain Sterling is fighting this guy, Peter Yan. Peter Yan is whooping the fucking life at Aljamain Sterling. I
mean, if I'm just reading off of a piece of paper and I have to look at a fight of Aljamain versus Peter, I'm definitely going Aljamain.
Well, no, because you got to understand, Peter is spelled P-E-T-R. So it's like
okay, you're right. Okay, so now I am going Peter because that's terrifying.
It looks like it's some abbreviated dinosaur name. Like it's like somehow his name means like pterodactyl or something is his long name. Yeah, he's a Russian demon. He had beautiful movement. He looked like, I texted Anthony. I was like, this guy looks like he boxed. And Anthony's like, he's been boxing since he was 13 years old. Yet, because UFC, that terrible head movement. That's another thing. The sport hasn't advanced enough. Like boxing has 150 years of perfection. So when you're watching a title fight in boxing, you're watching like 150 years of learned lessons. And so you're seeing masterpiece boxing. But even when you're watching title fights in UFC, I'm like, these dudes, they're kind of sloppy with their striking. But Peter Yan's whooping the god out of Aljamain Sterling. And then at one point he gets Aljamain Sterling on his knees and they replay the audio. He says in Russian, "Can I kick?" Because sometimes when you're in the throw of things, you yell to your coach because you can't tell if the kick would be legal or not. And one of his coaches said yes. So he fucking...
Well, he said, did he say kick or knee? Because didn't his coach said knee him?
I don't know exactly how it all broke down because I didn't watch any post-fight stuff. I just watched what they said in the moment, and they said kick in the moment was what the coach said. And so he grabbed this guy's head. The guy, by the way, Aljamain was in execution position, like Guantanamo Bay, like on your knee.
Yeah, I saw the replay of it. It's pretty gnarly.
And he fucking kneed him right in the head, knocked the goofy into him, and he fucking fell over. They disqualified the fight. The guy was trying to stand up. He kept falling over. But because of that knee, I won $129. So God bless that fucking...
Off of that fight or that fight finished your parlay?
It finished my parlay. So that fight, Aljamain... Yeah. So I won $129. Now I'm feeling good. I'm juiced up, right? So I'm like, let's keep betting. But now this is the part of the movie in Uncut Gems where you lock your brother-in-law and his friend in the fucking glass case. Oh no, you don't understand. You're gonna keep winning. I'm up $129. So I'm up $129. And then in my mind, I'm playing with house money. You know what I'm saying? So I tell my father this the next day, and he goes, "Let me tell you something, you crazy son of a bitch. There's no such thing as house money. Once that money enters your bank account, that's your friggin' money. When you start calling it house money, you don't appreciate it the way you should. Don't ever say, I don't want to ever hear you say house money ever again." And then he goes into this rant about, see, this is the kind of stuff you could do if you had a son. Like if you gave me a grandson, these are the kind of conversations you get to quit. And he started pressuring me to have a son because I was talking about a bookie and parlays. He was getting all fired up. And
your dad's like, you don't ever disrespect this family by doing bad bets.
Yeah. And by the way, a little trick with my father, when he starts putting pressure on me to have a kid, I just say something good about Joe Biden. He hangs up on me. It's a perfect thing. He'll be like, you need to give me a son. And I'll be like, do you see Uncle Joe got the stimulus package through? And he'll be like, goodbye. And he'll hang up. But
gotta go. Dude, my dad was cooking on Facebook the other day. Did you see? I sent you that.
Oh yeah.
You see that, dude?
Talking about somebody.
Oh, dude, I'll just give him
life.
Dude, my dad said on Facebook that after your wife makes dinner, you got to tell her thank you. After you have sex with your wife, you got to tell her thank you, or some other guy's going to be doing it for you, dude. Our dads are getting it cooking right now.
Your dad's like John Redcorn, dude.
Yeah, dude. No, he's trying to keep the. Oh no, he's trying to keep the John Redcorns out of here.
So I'm up 129. So I say, I'm looking at this Amanda Nunes, Megan Anderson fight. And I know just by the fact that her name's Megan, she's going to lose. But she was a big motherfucker. She was towering over.
She's 6 feet tall.
She's towering over Amanda Nunes. So per Anthony's, I'm just following whatever Anthony's telling me. He says, I just put a bet down that this fight will go into the third round, at least minimum. And so I said, shit, I'll do that too, because it was a huge payoff. So I put down like $20 that'll go into the third round. And then they start the ring announcing and they're looking eye to eye. And I'm like, oh, fuck, this girl is terrified. She couldn't even look at Amanda Nunes. And Amanda Nunes was completely comfortable trying to touch. And that fight was over in 2 minutes. She beat the fuck out of that girl. And so I lost that bet. And I was like, well, let me get my money back, right? So I still have some profit going on.
Of course, you're like, $20. What's $20? What's $20? $20 is house money and $20.
So I throw down a certain amount of money. I put 3 bets on the Izzy fight because I'm like, no way Izzy loses this fight. That's what everybody tells me. So I put down money.
See, if I would have been betting, I would have bet against Izzy just because I would have been like, well, if I put $20 that Izzy's going to lose, that's probably going to pay out like what, 100?
Yeah, it was really good odds. But yeah, this guy that Anthony and I are friends with made $600 just on a straight win-loss bet, like on a $100 bet, I think, or something. So I put down fights that Izzy's going to win in the second, third, and fourth round. I put bets down, 3 different bets on that, and I'm just watching them lose. So essentially, moral of the story is the suicide rope won. And I got taken down.
Suicide rope is undefeated, dude. The suicide rope. I told Brian that night, I was like, dude, we might have to go over and touch that suicide rope.
I know. I was thinking about like all the people I know who've hung themselves, and nobody I know who has hung themselves has used actual rope. So I think that's why nothing good's ever happened for anybody who found them.
Why? Because they use the belt.
Yeah, they're using belt.
You got to. I think you got to wear the belt. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if
ring with a belt on?
Yeah, could you imagine if I showed up one day and I was like, things were going really good. I was like rich. I was like, dude, got this belt. It's Chris Cornell's belt.
Yeah, you're like, thank God I didn't answer my high school friend's phone call that night.
Yeah, I know. Now I got this belt.
Yeah, everything's come up for me
right,
now.
well,
I invented.
So what?
I ended up winning $24.
You ended up winning.
I went down 30. I was up 129. But when I say I won $26, folks, I want you to know that means I won $86. You know, I profited.
Okay.
Okay.
Profited $26.
I take that. Okay. You know what? They paid me out in Bitcoin. That $26 is worth like $29 or $30 now. So it's paying for it.
Dude. Yeah, we got some coins are pumping right now. I just went back in.
Yeah, I went hard on Ethereum like a week ago, and anyway, nobody wants to hear about this.
Tune into the other podcast, the third cast. Yeah, fat investors. Yeah.
Oh no, we'll call it fat stocks.
Fat stocks. Oh God, man, how is that not the first thing we? Oh man, we should quit. All right. Well,
I just want to say this though. Do you watch UFC at all ever?
I have. I watch the big fights. I watch. I would have watched this one, but on Saturday I was at a show.
Mm-hmm.
But I did. So no, I didn't watch it. I know enough about it to understand.
You want to say strip club? I was at
dude. Yeah.
I was at a dinner theater
show. Peep show.
Dude, my friend in Athens, we were hanging out, and she thought her boyfriend was cheating on her. And so she called him, and she had him on speakerphone because she was wasted, causing shit. And she said, what are you doing? And he goes, you can hear all this party in the background. He's like, I'm watching Sports Center with the guys. And she goes, hold the phone up to the TV. And he just goes, da-da-da, da-da-da. Da-da-da, da-da-da.
And she's like, all right, talk to you later. I'll see you. It just totally works.
You know, whooping his ass, dude. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So are you familiar with Bruce Buffer? Have you seen how Bruce Buffer announces?
I'm familiar with Bruce Buffer, and then his brother is Michael Buffer.
Yeah. Michael Buffer's the dude, man. I got to tell you, if I got to choose, this is going to ruffle some feathers. I've already ruffled a few feathers in my text exchanges about shitting on Bruce Buffer. I'm not shitting on Bruce Buffer, but I got to tell you, if I had to choose a Buffer brother, I'm going Michael all the way. I think like Bruce Buffer is
Michael Buffer is Let's Get Ready to Rumble.
Yeah, and This Is It or something is Bruce Buffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's time. Bruce Buffer goes too hard. Michael Buffer, he's like trying to outdo his brother, and it's just like
Bruce Buffer is what Chris D'Elia's girlfriends would call extra. You know what I mean? Like he's wearing like those doo-wop fucking jackets. He looks like he's in like the Raindrops or whatever. He's like the baritone. He's wearing these like fucking 50s sparkly Liberace green blazers, and then he gets right in the fighter's face and he's like, "I'm fighting," and he's like screaming, "Fighting!"
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, and it's just like, and he's stomping around, and then you got Michael Buffer, fucking classic tuxedo, you know what I mean? Perfect voice. Let's get ready to rumble. There's no greater saying in the English language than "Let's get ready to rumble."
Boxing is a real gentleman's sport.
Boxing is, yeah, I could say that. I could see that.
Boxing and baseball, those are gentleman sports, dude.
What makes baseball a gentleman? Actually, I was watching a video online of some pitcher who pitches too fast, and he was fucking with Marcus Semien. Oh fuck, who was it? But he was moving too fast, and he was
quick pitching him.
He was quick pitching him, but he was also doing those Kershaw double leg pump things. Marcus Semien was losing his mind. And I guess what happened is the umpire forgot to put his hand up while he was digging in. So because the umpire didn't have his hand up, he just threw real quick and got a strike on him. And you could watch the mouth. Marcus Semien looks at the pitcher. It's a big pitcher. I forget who he is. And he goes, "I wasn't fucking ready." And the pitcher goes, "Well, tell the fucking umpire to put his hand up." And then Marcus Semien, base hit right after that.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I used to do that shit all the time.
Quick pitch?
Like, yeah. Oh,
Didn't you say your father taught you all the dirty tricks?
Dude, my dad's a dirty old man, dude. He's coaching Little League Baseball. He's having us do delayed steals. We're sliding head first into home. We're fucking stealing home. My dad would delayed steal. We would do that all the time. My dad taught us all how to steal bases. And also my dad taught us on third base to get like 15 feet off of it as soon as we were able to lead off. And then the pitcher would always throw over because it would fuck with his head. And then as soon as he started to throw over, you would just take off home, slide head first, drag your left hand across the tip of the plate.
Wow.
Of course, that and the move over to third base where you put your leg up like you're going home, but then you go over to third base and you just fucking starch them every time. My dad is a filthy old man, dude.
What was y'all's record?
Oh my God. I mean, there was years that we went like 24-1. Like some years we were going 22, 23-0.
Were parents getting in your dad's face? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
No, dude, they just knew. They knew coming in. They knew coming into the game that it was. They knew what was happening before the game even started, dude.
Your father's riding the oil ponies. Nobody wants to fight one of them,
dude. No, we were starching, dude. Fun times. I mean, my dad and his friends are fucking smoking cigars and drinking during the game. Just a real.
You were catching?
What?
You were catching?
I was doing it all back then. I was mostly pitching. Because me and like two other guys, there's like a generation gap almost. But like when we first started doing live pitch, there was me and a couple other kids who were really throwing gas. And then like once other kids started throwing harder than me, I started catching. Once puberty came into the picture, I was like, I'll catch.
I was watching King of the Hill the other day, and they were like, "Son, the baseball team always needs a husky fella to catch."
Yeah, man. Bruce Buffer is
Michael Buffer, and I mean Bruce Buffer rules, but Michael Buffer rules harder. He just doesn't need to try so hard. He has confidence in his pipes. Michael Buffer also, if you Google him and you look at pictures of him in the 80s, there's so many pictures of him in like a slick tuxedo with two like just big haired, hair sprayed out like bikini, like casino broads on each shoulder while he's like in a Ferrari or something. Like he's just a cool dude. He got his brother in the biz.
I got no qualms with that.
He got his brother in the biz. If I want to give Bruce Buffer one thing, I will give him this. He actually fought. He was a kickboxer and he had to stop fighting because of concussions.
Damn. That's why he can't control the volume of his voice now. He's at home and he's like, honey, I'm taking out the trash.
We're out of milk.
Jesus. Did you have anything else on that?
No, just dude, Amanda Nunes rules. Good politics. Female fighter ever. Cool ass, weird looking baby. She a cool wife.
Cool, weird looking baby.
Yeah, the baby's hair is growing in a strange way where it like, do you know what a Chelsea is?
No.
So a Chelsea is like a girl skinhead haircut where they shave their head, but they leave their bangs and then they put it back.
I got it right here. Yeah, that's a bad haircut, but you seem like you know a lot of these people.
Yeah. Well, the baby has a natural Chelsea. And I was like, dude, this baby looks awesome. I had a natural mullet as a kid. I had a cul-de-sac pattern. I had Hulk Hogan hair for the first 9 months of my life.
Nothing has ever made more sense than what you just told me.
Dude, I was walking around in a diaper with a Hulk Hogan ringlet. I was looking badass, dude.
I don't know if that's what I would call it. Badass. Well, dude, I got reverse racism when I was a kid because my hair was so white. So black folks in the store, because where we lived, it would always come up and want to touch my hair. No bullshit. My mom was like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, touch him. You want him? You can have him.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. You see this Trevor Bauer? You see the Trevor Bauer story of the week?
No. I don't even look into Trevor Bauer anymore because I know I'm going to hear about it on Mondays.
Dude, it's because there's a nonstop. Trevor Bauer is but he just knows how to keep himself in the thing. Trevor Bauer, he was pitching a spring training game with great success the other day, and he was pitching with one eye closed. So he came off the field and you can see it, and you can see it on the thing. I'll send you a picture, but he pointed to his right eye when he was coming off the field and it was shut. And then they were like, what was going on with that? Like after the game, he's like, well, figure if they can't score off me with one eye open, it's going to be pretty difficult to score off me with two eyes open.
Dude, he's like Satchel Paige. Like he's like
he's unreal, dude.
Like where is the logic in that?
He said he likes making himself uncomfortable and throwing different stuff to find a solution for it. I think that's how you improve.
Yeah, he's like, you brush your teeth with your left hand, then that reconnects neural pathways that have long since rotted away. Yeah. For sure. But dude, I don't know if you've seen any highlights of him in spring training, but he's looking good, dude. Yeah.
That curveball is fucking boomerang.
But do the Dodgers win the World Series, you think?
I'll get into it, but you already know my answer.
Why don't you just
Dave Roberts? Oh, well, of course.
Oh wait,
okay. It's not a question. Dave Roberts was asked about this, and it's one of those things too, like where I was saying of like when it's a guy on your team who's being annoying, you're like, love it, but anywhere else, you're like, you fucking piece of shit, shut the fuck up and just fucking play. Dave Roberts said, Dave Roberts. I don't like Dave Roberts. I think Dave Roberts. He also has this weird fake, like antidepressant attitude. Do you know what I'm saying?
Fake antidepressant.
You hear him talk? Like he has this like fake / antidepressant attitude all the time where he's like, yeah, and everything is just awesome. It's so good.
To me seemed like just like on the low energy side. I get what you're saying now. He's got the Tom Cruise Scientology energy is what you're saying.
Yeah. So what Dave Roberts said is, Trevor's great. Just love the way he pushes boundaries. You don't know what works and what doesn't work unless you try it. He's got a pretty good grasp on what it takes to get right and keep him right. He's been a treat.
Dude, well, you got to admit, Dave Roberts probably feels like he got a new lease on life. He knew that last year he was going to be fired if they didn't
win
a World Series. there's got to be no worse position in any league where you're coaching, where you're constantly getting to championships. Andy Reid is another one who was like that forever, where it's like, bitch, I am doing everything that these 30 other motherfuckers can. There's just Bill Belichick. There's only one other guy who's doing better than me. And you're going to fire me because I'm not Bill Belichick? Well, I'm better than these 30 other motherfuckers. Like, I imagine Dave Roberts must be feeling insane. World Series after World Series.
It would be more like if Bill Belichick got to the Super Bowl every year and then took a big dump in his pants and just like blew it every year. That's what Dave Roberts has been.
Sure. But like, I don't think Marv Levy was ever, back in the day, people understood how hard it is to just even get to the fucking dance. Like Marv Levy took the Bills to 4 straight Super Bowls and he kept coaching them past that. And he was like 9,000 years old. But like Dave Roberts, everybody's like, what's wrong with him? He's too into analytics. He's not a real manager. He doesn't know how to fire up his people. He doesn't know how to call a game. And it's like, he's in the World Series. Okay. Like that's gotta mean
Dave Roberts' only issue is that he gets in his own way all the time. Constantly gets in his own way. Same thing. Kevin Cash, the Rays manager, he just got in his own way last year by taking out Blake Snell.
A great name,
Kevin Cash.
Yeah,
I got some big predictions coming up. You want to hear that? This is Bruce's MLB predictions for 2021. I'm calling it now. I don't need to see all of spring training. I know exactly what's going to happen. You want to hear them? Let's hear it
on me, fatty.
Let's do it. Jock Peterson. I sent you a video of him the other day. He's got that stance way opened up. He's smacking the shit out of the ball. I mean, spring training isn't really a big show of what's exactly is going to go on, but his stance, he looks like he's working on it. And it's like Jock Peterson, he didn't play every game last year. He didn't play every game last year, but in 2019 was the last time he played a full season. He hit 249 with 36 home runs, which 249 is not that great. It's not very good at all, really, but I got big predictions for Jock Peterson this year. 330. No. Okay. Nope, 3. Jock Peterson, I'm going 3. He's hit 3.
No.
You said 330. I'm going 330. He's gotten up there before. I got it right here. Wait, hold on quick. Jock Peterson, he's had some flashes of success. Average is not where he's had success. He's really, his career, whatever, is 249. But dude, he's looking like he's worked on it and he's going to be playing every day for the Cubs. I think it's going to be a lower pressure situation than it was with the Dodgers. 330, 40 home runs, top 3 MVP voting.
Wow. Let me ask.
I'm not even done. You think I'm even close to done? What's your question?
Nothing. I'd rather just wait to see if you answer this question naturally. Go ahead.
Bryce Harper. This is a year Bryce Harper makes good on that contract. Bryce Harper's going 330, but Bryce Harper's going to hit 50 home runs this year.
Bryce Harper's hitting 50?
Bryce Harper's hitting 50. Obviously, all of this comes with the variable of everybody staying healthy. And people are going to say, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I don't. I'm making some outlandish claims, but this is just what I feel down in my heart, okay? Most of these probably won't come true, but that's what the point of this podcast is to fucking go big. Bryce Harper's obviously had these signs of success. Bryce Harper has hit 42 home runs in a season, and he's hit God damn it, did I even have it here? Where am I? Bryce Harper's hit like 330 or 319 in a season before. I think he had like a plaguing shoulder injury the past few years. That's really kind of fucked him up. Bryce Harper, 330, 50 home runs, National League MVP.
Okay.
I see people online saying even crazier stuff like Vlad Guerrero Jr. is going to be the MVP this year. You fucking lost your mind. If you think Vlad Guerrero Jr. is going to have some breakout year this year, he's definitely not going to. They're fucking crazy. Vlad Guerrero is going to hit 30 home runs, but he's going to hit about 215, 225.
What happened is internet baseball fans, for some reason, the culture of internet baseball fans worship Vlad Guerrero Sr. That's like
Vlad Guerrero Sr. is one of the best.
Yeah. People worship him. So they're just dying for his son to, be the
absolutely. And it's not like Vlad Guerrero Jr. is bad. He's just not somebody that's he'll hit a good amount of home runs. He'll hit 1 million home runs in the home run derby. I just don't see it translating as well to the regular game.
Will he be the best of the sons on the Jays?
No.
Who's gonna
Calvin
be the best?
Biggio will.
You think so?
Calvin Biggio. Yeah,
Does
definitely.
he have that crazy stance? Like he's reverse cowgirling?
No, you're thinking Jeff Bagwell.
Oh, right. Yeah, Bagwell.
Craig Biggio is his dad, like one of the best leadoff hitters in the history, most hit by pitches of all time because he wore that fucking JJ Watt shoulder pad on his fucking arm. Trevor Bauer, easy money. He's gonna have his hand surgically replaced with a big ball of pine tar, and then he's gonna have 20 wins, top 3 Cy Young, no doubt. Trevor Bauer's going over 20 wins this year.
Are they doing? How many games are they playing this year?
They're going full 162.
Okay.
Starting on time, baby.
So
White Sox.
Okay. Yo, I don't want to. I like this. Keep going.
White Sox going to win the AL Central and then get swept in the first round of the playoffs. That's all. It's going to be very It's a very risky call to say that they're going to win the AL Central because the AL Central is actually looking good. This is all kind of based on whether or not the team can rally behind Tony La Russa. Because when they hired Tony La Russa, a lot of people said that's a stupid choice. He's too old school. Baseball has moved into a new world, basically. And also, Tony La Russa's had some weird issues. I think he was outspoken about Colin Kaepernick, and maybe he got a couple DUIs or something. I don't know. But if Tony La Russa can get the team to gather behind him, it'll work. The White Sox are a good-looking team. I don't buy into the hype as much as everybody else does that they're about to be one of the best teams in baseball. They're going to be good. They're going to make the playoffs.
Guy that's so fucking good.
Tim Anderson. Their shortstop. Unreal. They have a great team.
Yeah. Oh, Tim Anderson. I like the White Sox. I went to their stadium. I watched them play a game, and I've liked them ever since.
Yeah. This might be the craziest prediction of them all. The Mets are the Mets. They're going to miss the playoffs. Their coach is going to get fired.
Who wins the NL East?
NL East, easy. Braves.
The team who was kind of the most quiet in the offseason.
Yeah, but they have the team. They have the team. They were. I mean, they had the Dodgers down and out in the NLCS last year.
I remember. Yeah. So the Mets are the Mets are the Mets. You're saying that do they get in the wild card one game playoff?
Nope.
Not even that.
Nope. The Mets fall apart this season. I was talking big game about the Mets and how much I want them to succeed. I want them everything to work out. I just don't see it happening. I just don't see everything working out there.
Did they get another bat after Lindor?
No.
Yeah, no.
Pete Alonso. That's my big kicker here is that their lineup isn't what it should be. They have Francisco Lindor and they have Pete Alonso. Did you watch that video I sent you of Pete Alonso hitting that opposite field home run?
Yes. Crazy.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
Where people are saying Pete Alonso is looking like 2019 Pete Alonso where he hit 53, 54 home runs. So if that's the case, that could definitely help.
But all the Mets have to do is average 3 runs a game. That's all they have to do, and then they'll have a top record because they can count on their pitching staff 100%.
Their pitching staff's good, and I obviously could be crazy for even saying this because Noah Syndergaard is coming back in June apparently after that Tommy John, but who knows if that flames out immediately or if he's able to stay healthy.
He'll be fine. I mean, they've mastered that surgery. Nobody's going to come back before they're ready. I'm wondering what's going to go on with Chris Sale this year.
Chris Sale, he's still in Boston, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did he have Tommy John?
He did.
Well, you've seen his dude. He gets his shit back here like nobody's business. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see Chris Sale returning to form.
He gambled on the Red Sox were doing nothing, so he said, "I'm going to go ahead and get the surgery, try again next year." And so I'm very interested to see what happens. I mean, JBJ's gone. I don't know. I'm very interested to see what these Red Sox look like. I'm actually going to start paying attention to my Sox pretty soon here once they've made their cuts and started their starting lineup, and then I'll pay attention.
Yeah, I wouldn't invest too much time in them this year.
Let me ask you this.
They're going to be. I'll tell you right now. I mean, I got all the divisions right here. If that's what your next question is. Red Sox are good. Red Sox are going to be 4th in the NL East or AL East.
Dead last.
Yankees. Is there only 4 teams? I thought there's 5 teams. No, the Orioles will be dead last. The Orioles are going to break the record. Are going to approach the record for most losses in a season this year.
So you're saying it's going to go Orioles, and then it's going to go Red Sox, and then it's going to go Blue Jays, and it's going to go Rays, and then it's going to go Yankees?
Rays are going to finish in 3rd.
third, then Blue
Yankees
Jays.
are going to win. Blue Jays are going to finish second. Yankees are going to win if they stay healthy. Blue Jays if the Yankees don't stay healthy. But the wild cards in my mind for the AL right now are the Blue Jays and the Astros, because AL West is going to be the A's, AL Central is going to be the White Sox, AL East going to be the Yankees.
Okay, what's going on in the NL?
NL West, you already don't even get me started on what's going to happen in the NL West. Dodgers, easy money. NL Central is the Cardinals. NL East is the Braves, and the wild cards are the Padres and the Cubs, because Jock Peterson's going to have a fucking bust out year.
Okay, then who comes out of the AL and the NL for the series?
For the World Series?
Mm-hmm.
Yankees, Dodgers. It's going to
really
be another
so?
same thing it always. If the Yankees can stay healthy, they have an unbelievable team.
Same things it always is. When's the last time that happened?
The what?
Yankees, Dodgers.
I'm saying same thing it always is it's always the same couple of teams. There's not going to be any surprise team this year, I don't think. That's going to get to the World Series.
But I mean, also
the Padres baseball playoffs are so iffy that, I mean, any of it could happen.
Okay. So what's your prediction for, I got a couple teams I'm always interested in. The Giants. Garbage.
Yastrzemski's going to hit over 300. He's going to be their superstar player. He's not going to re-sign there. He's going to go to another team. Okay. I think because his grandpa played for the Red Sox, right?
Carl Yastrzemski? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yes.
He'll head over there. Mm-hmm. He'll be there. No doubt. He's a stud.
That would be insane if the Sox had a Yastrzemski again. Oh, woo!
Yeah. Giants are I mean, the Giants are going to be, I mean, maybe trying to think, at the very least, third in the NL West.
Okay, let me ask you.
At the very most, I'm sorry.
Another team I'm always very interested in for some reason, the Rockies.
Last.
I think
second worst record. Second to worst. Third to worst record in baseball, behind the Orioles and the Pirates.
Okay. All right.
Orioles will have the worst record in baseball. The Pirates will have the second worst record, and then the Rockies will have the third worst record.
And AL MVP, Trout?
AL MVP. I thought I wrote that down. Dude, I'll give a dark horse here for the AL MVP and say Matt Chapman, the third baseman on the A's.
Okay. And then he'll be a Yankee next year?
Yeah, I think his contract is running out. There's no way he stays over there. But he's one of those guys that is just way underreported because he plays in Oakland, but he's defensively, he's crazy solid, and he's fucking good. The Rockies are just going to push everybody away. Charlie Blackmon's going to leave the Rockies. Trevor Story is going to leave the Rockies. The Rockies are just going to wither away into oblivion. The Rockies are fucked for the next 15 years.
Yeah, you think so?
Like
15 years? It seems like I don't understand what's going on over there, because it seems like they're pretty committed to being competitive. Like they're generally competitive every few years.
Every few years, but I don't know how it's gonna work out. Did you know that the White Sox traded Tatis to the Padres for James Shields? I just found that out. That is unbelievable.
Do they still have who's playing second base for them?
For the Padres or White Sox? Nick Madrigal. See, the White Sox lineup is all Latino dudes and Tim Anderson who just rip it. Like Luis Robert, their center fielder, is unreal. Like he's fucking good. Jose Abreu, their DH, is fucking legit. Or he also plays first base, I believe. Like,
what's your
the White Sox are legit.
Did you see? I was watching some podcast where they had who's that dude for ESPN, the baseball guy, Tim
Kirkchin.
Yeah, they had him on, and I can't remember what the podcast was, but they dared him to name like 7 Detroit Tigers, and he like beat around the bush, but then he named like everybody on the team. I don't know.
He's a savant.
They were like, name any Tiger other than Miguel Cabrera. But I don't. Do you think Miguel Cabrera has anything left? Because his last 2 seasons have been some of the worst baseball on earth.
I mean, no, he's just riding it out. He's like,
everybody should watch on YouTube Miggy Moments, I believe it's called, or like the best of Miggy. he was the funniest baseball player for a while.
Yeah. I mean, his last 2 years have been not good. I mean, comparatively to him, he hit 300 for, well, he hit 294 and then he hit 300 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 out of 13 years in a row. Unreal. Yeah. I mean, probably not. I mean, he's probably kind of just riding it out. He's in his going into his 19th year in the league.
Yeah, dude. He's just paying off.
Their stats projected him to hit 257. I don't really see much happening. 16 home runs. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done.
Sounds about right.
Pujols and Miggy, they're both done.
Yeah. They both retire after this year.
Yeah, I agree.
But also, why wouldn't he just stick around for the Tigers? What else do the Tigers have going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, he's still the star of the show. They got nothing else. I mean, he's going to get the biggest applause when he comes up to bat.
So it's all about, dude, the applause. So I got the deep dive I got this week is what I've called wives of athletes tripping on social media. You're familiar with Wes Welker's wife, former Miss Hooters. Anna Burns Welker, I believe.
Really?
Which is
Wes
beautiful
Welker,
too.
I remember he got busted on Molly at the Kentucky Derby.
He did.
That makes sense that he's a wild man. He married a Hooters waitress.
Yeah, dude. What a life.
God, man.
Can
you imagine when you start working at Hooters and how shitty that is, and then all of a sudden you're married to a guy who can get you into the Kentucky Derby? That rules.
Yeah. A 5'6" dude who could get you into the Kentucky Derby on Molly. So I'm not sure if you remember. Do you remember her beef with Ray Lewis, where after the Ravens beat the Pats in the playoffs, she said, "I'm proud of." This is on Facebook too. That's how you know she's trashy. She's over on Facebook talking shit. She said, "Proud of my husband and the Pats. By the way, if anyone is bored, please go to Ray Lewis's Wikipedia page. 6 kids, 4 wives, a kid acquitted for murder." Paid a family off. Yay. What a Hall of Fame player. A true role model.
Holy shit. He must have been so fucking pissed. Because when
you know what's crazy about that whole thing?
What?
He was never married.
Ray Lewis?
Said he had 4 wives. Ray Lewis never married.
Is he married now?
I don't know. I just read a thing today that said he was never married. Let's see. Ray. What were you about to say?
I was about to say,
going down what road?
Like when you start going down that road of calling out people, it's like he's like, sweetheart, there's 9 guys with the exact same record on my team. Like you can't stock this kind of shit. Like you don't understand. This is the culture of football. Like now I got 4, felons in my locker room who are gonna fucking never trust me again.
Yeah, we kill people around here.
He literally had Aaron Hernandez on his team. How do you think Aaron Hernandez? That must have hurt Aaron Hernandez's feelings.
Yeah, he never married from what I can gather.
Yeah.
So then this is a funny. So this is the wife of the Redskins GM. So this lady, ESPN reporter Diana Rossini wrote a story of that the coach or whoever at the time, McLaughlin, wanted to trade Robert Griffin III, but the owner Dan Snyder wouldn't allow him to. Oh, so it's the GM Scott McLaughlin at the time. But Dan Snyder wouldn't allow him to trade RG3. So in response to that story, Jessica McLaughlin, the wife of the GM, decided to chime in from her Twitter account. And she said, at Diana ESPN, please tell us how many BJs you had to get to give to get this story. And did they laugh at you before or after?
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. I've been down that road before too, where it's like, you got like a mouthy girlfriend and then you have to deal with the repercussions. I remember one time I was dating this vegan girl and we were floating down the Broad River in Athens, Georgia. It's like a lazy river type deal. And as we're floating down the river, there's a couple Latino dudes who are up on the banks catching geese to eat, I think. And she started screaming at him because they were catching geese. And so the goose slipped out of his fucking hand. And so the dude jumped into the river and punched me right in my life vest, which thank God it didn't.
He punched you in the chest.
He punched me straight in my life vest in the chest. And I was like, and it was fine. And I like fell back. I totally fell back. It was slippery. You know, I think I was on some algae rocks. So I fell right over.
Why were you out of the tube?
Because he was coming at me. I'm not going to lay down while a guy's running after me.
That's fair. It's fair. You're like splashing around. No, there's no way to look tough getting out of an inner tube either.
Yeah, no. There's no way to look tough. And I was just like, do you understand what position you put me in? Do you think he's going to hit you? No, he comes from a very machismo kind of culture. So when you start talking shit, and by the way, you took food out of his hand. Would you rather he go buy some factory farmed geese? You know what I mean? This is wild hunting. This is as ethical as it could possibly be. Also, could you just hush up? Could you just hush up a little bit?
And he's using his hands.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I had nothing but respect for the man. But so I understand what it's like to be with these kind of people where it's like, please, sweetheart, please. Do you know how many BJs it's going to take for you to make up for this fucking tweet? That's what I would have said.
So yeah, I can't even imagine. And then of course the Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend, where she tweeted out the picture of Ray Lewis is getting taken to task. I'm just realizing now by these athletes' wives. You know what I'm talking about? The picture of him and the Ravens owner, where he's like hugging him from the back.
I remember this tweet.
And then she tweeted the picture of
Art
Django.
Modell, isn't it? It's Art Modell, Ray Lewis, and maybe Jim Harbaugh.
It's something with a B. I think it's the owner. Or maybe the GM. I don't remember off the top of my head, but she tweeted out the picture of Samuel L. Jackson holding up Leonardo DiCaprio's character in Django.
Yeah.
Which eventually led to Colin Kaepernick apparently not getting signed by the Ravens when he was about to. Or
essentially, she was saying that Ray Lewis is, a house.
A C word.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, it's funny because they're like Colin Kaepernick was blackballed from the NFL, or is blackballed the right term? Is that what they did?
Yeah.
Blacklisted. That he was blacklisted.
Blackballed is
okay. He was blackballed from the NFL, and then you read that story, and you're like, well, the Ravens were ready. I mean, he's a perfect quarterback for the Ravens right now. They have RG3 and Lamar Jackson, but you can't be talking like that. Sweetheart.
Dude, if my girlfriend was tweeting about Ray Lewis, I was like, I would be like, he will fucking kill me. Like, he will kill both of us. You know what I'm saying?
Sports science, dude. He has a sports science on YouTube of him that he did with ESPN, and he's like breaking down doors with pads, and like they were comparing him to like certain kind of machinery that they use to break through doors. Like the guy is a tank, a literal tank.
You ever see the video of Chad Johnson where he comes across the middle and thinks that it's somebody else and goes to hit Ray Lewis and he hits him, fucking flattens him, and he goes, "Oh shit!" And then he's talking about it. He's like, "Damn, I tried to hit Ray." Dude, Chad Johnson mic'd up shit is the fucking
I've watched a lot of that. Oh, that's how we're gonna play.
Do you follow him on Twitter where he just will like pull up on people and play FIFA at their house and shit?
My favorite tweet, Chad Ocho. Is it Chad Johnson again? It is, right? It's not Ocho.
I think so, yeah.
My favorite tweet was when Roger Stone got arrested and he was out jogging. And he was like, damn, I thought I was up for a usual morning. Then I run into this shit. And he takes a picture of Roger Stone getting arrested out of his house. It was one of the funniest things.
Dude, that's so funny. All right, I got one more of these, dude. The legend, Miko Grimes. You know Miko Grimes, Brent Grimes' wife?
Mm-hmm.
Great legend, name, dude.
Bro. Miko Grimes. But I don't remember. Wait, what was the tweet?
There's a few. She's you can read all about her. She's on like Baller Wives, some TV show on BET3, I think. She tweeted, this is in 2015 when Tannehill was with the Dolphins and so was Brent Grimes, or maybe it was the Bucks. I can't think off the top of my head for this one. And she tweeted, said, I knew this QB stunk the minute we signed him to this team, but I tried to keep quiet so I didn't discourage Bay from believing in his team.
Oh boy.
Ryan Tannehill.
Who's by my the way,
column.
Really good now.
Oh yeah, my column. How many people does Ryan Tannehill have to get fired before you realize he's the problem?
She said that.
There's a bunch of these, and then okay, so this is where it gets a little dicey. Where she actually won an award for this tweet. It was Anti-Semite of the Week from StopAntisemitism.com, but. So she's talking about the owner and Tannenbaum from the Jets. Said, gotta respect Ross for keeping his Jew buddies employed, but did he not see how Tannenbaum put the Jets in the dumpster with that Sanchez deal?
Oh, so she
And so
really
you
pays attention to football.
Yeah. That's what you can gather from that is, yeah. And I mean, there's quite a bit of other stuff that she said. She went hard on that whenever she was getting called an anti-Semite for that tweet by saying she went into some like real Black Israelite shit.
Oof.
Of being like black people cannot be anti-Semitic. The religion was stolen. Yeah,
That's
she was.
We're the chosen.
She went.
Yeah.
She went full Reverend Nick Cannon.
God damn, Miko Grimes. Are they still married? How is she like insanely hot?
Of course.
Yeah, I was gonna say why would you put up with that? Miko, let me look her up. I remember her name.
Of course. I mean, is Brent Grimes good?
He's okay. He's like a slot receiver who can take a whopping. He's not.
I thought he was a corner.
I thought he was a wide receiver.
I don't know.
Hold on one second. Let me look at her. Oh yeah. Yeah, she can say whatever she wants. Yeah.
Let me get a look at this right here. Well, dude, she there was this interview. I mean, now she's doing like Andrew Schultz.
I don't know who I was thinking of.
She's doing podcasts with like Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne and shit. Like, dude, she was doing an interview and she was saying that Brent Grimes wanted to get released from the Dolphins, so he was like, feel free to go as hard as you can, as hard as you want on Twitter and shit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then she was doing her job. She wasn't speaking out of pocket. She was working as the.
I think she was speaking out of pocket, and then she also.
And then he weaponized it.
Like, all right. Yeah, that's a good thing. Like if you could have weaponized your vegan girlfriend's anger in some way, and that would have been pretty sick.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how I would have done that, but I would say leaving some migrant workers alone as they catch the dinner. I would say, maybe
that's a way to start. Yeah, that's a way to start. But hey, that's all I got. Shouts out to the legend Miko Grimes, except for that last tweet. I don't know about that one. And congrats.
That's why I only date people who have zero interest in anything I do. I don't want anybody getting fired up about my workplace. Yeah.
You don't want your girlfriend tweeting the Comedy Store.
Yeah. How'd you pass this motherfucker? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, she does have an award-winning tweet.
They give that award every week though.
Apparently, yeah. It's not really a special award. You might have won it a few times.
Hey, no.
Joke, come on. Just joke, come on.
I only go after people like Donald Trump. And
there you go. People like Donald Trump is what you said. So you got anything else?
No, I'm ready. I mean, I was going to talk about the Iditarod Trail, but I don't think there's a reason to right now. I'll keep you. I mean, it's a long race. It's actually the shortest it's been in a long time. It's a dog race up in Alaska. Usually it's 1,000 miles. But they can't go through towns this year. They have to sleep outside. They can't sleep inside, and because of COVID, and so it's shortened down to 186 or 862 miles. But I'm going to keep an eye on that. I already got some good juicy tidbits to talk about the Iditarod, but let's let a week play through, and we'll follow that. I mean, I'm sure all of our listeners are at the edge of their seat to figure out, especially with the father-son competition between Dallas Seavey and his father Harris Seavey. I mean, get out of here. That's like Dale Jr. and Dale. You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
The fact that you're teasing the Iditarod race. Is very funny. This is like whenever you learned about cricket to filibuster to not talk about the Packers when they lost.
Well, anyway.
Right. Well, hey, tune in next week if you want to hear about the Iditarod challenge, and maybe me and Brian can get on Bovada and get some Iditarod bets going.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'll look into that. That would juice it up.
Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.
All right. Adios, people.